Hello, St. Joseph Catholic School families and students. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing well this summer. I did want to let you guys know that I do have some updates in regards to what next year is going to look like. And rather than just keep pushing it back till I have all the certainties and all the unknowns answered, I'd rather give you an update now, just to give you guys an idea and hopefully answer some of those questions that you have. I may not get to all the questions, and if you have questions after this, I would ask you to reach out to me and let me know if there are more questions that you have, and I'll do my best to provide an answer for you. As you know, in March we went into distance learning, and I know that was a challenge for everyone, including teachers and students and parents. And I wanted to thank you for hanging in there with us and working through that difficult time. As you've heard, the Archbishop does want Catholic schools to be back in school learning this fall, full-time, so that is what we are shooting for. We will be following the Archdiocese recommendations. We will not be necessarily doing the same thing as Poudre School District, but we will also have to follow some of Larimer County Health Department's mandates that they put out. So as of right now, I've reached out to Larimer County and they don't have a whole lot of information for schools regarding what next year for sure will look like. So we're going to start moving forward and we'll adjust as things come up. So I'm just going to go through and give you guys an update of kind of what next year is going to look like as of right now. So we will be starting back for in-school learning on August 17th. And so that's the same week the Poudre School District starts, and the rest of the Archdiocese is starting as well. So August 17th is the first day. When school reconvenes, we'll be prepared to provide a safe and healthy environment for your students and faculty. And we'll have all the, hopefully, anything that we need to have in place, we'll have those things in place. I know one of the questions that came up, or concerns that came up on the survey that the Archdiocese sent out was masks. As of right now, we will not be requiring students to wear masks. However, if Larimer County Health or the state makes it mandatory, that would be something that we would have to look at moving forward. Now, if you don't feel comfortable having your student not have a mask on, we're totally fine with you having your student wear a mask as you see fit for them here at the school. All right. As far as you know, the school can oftentimes be kind of a hotbed for germs, so we're going to be taking some extra precautions to make sure that we are addressing those concerns and just being a little bit more vigilant on that. So we will be wiping down, being a little bit more deliberate about which surfaces we are sanitizing. So for example, light switches, doorknobs, desks, tables, the handrails in the building. So we'll be following the health department's recommendations on the frequency of wiping those spaces down, bathrooms, and then we'll just be more diligent. Those spaces will be addressed every single day and throughout the day as recommended. Also, we will not be allowing students to drink from the water fountains. We'll ask that every student has their own water bottle, but they will not be allowed to actually drink from the water fountains. So we're trying to minimize the spread of germs that way as well. We'll also be having more frequent hand washing. There will be hand sanitizer in every single classroom, and there will be more deliberate times when students are actually washing their hands. Anytime they return from recess or lunch, whatever that might be, before lunch, washing their hands. Right. Also, moving ahead, as far as the cafeteria goes, as of right now I don't have any guidance whether we can have our normal cafeteria operations in place or not. I'd like to if we're allowed to. If not, we'll be looking at an option of possibly getting boxed lunches for those seeking still to purchase a lunch from the cafeteria. So we'll be looking at a boxed lunch option if we aren't allowed to have the normal cafeteria lines serving food that way. The biggest thing that I need from you parents is to make sure that if your student is sick in any way, please do not send them to school. So some of those symptoms could include cough, fever, chills, body aches, fatigue, headache, loss of smell or taste, sore throat, or any other symptoms of COVID. Please keep them at home. If they do come to school and we're noticing they're exhibiting some of those symptoms, we will be calling you to come and pick them up. If we do have a student that's exhibiting some of those symptoms, we'll have a specific quarantine area that we can keep them in without them exposing others, and that's where they would wait with a staff member, not directly next to them, but nearby, waiting for the parents to return to pick them up from school. So that's kind of how we'll deal with that. Now, if there is a student that ends up becoming positive for COVID, we would follow the health department's recommendations, whatever they're recommending. They could recommend a whole classroom goes into quarantine for a period of time, or they could recommend the whole entire school. It just kind of depends. That'll be something they'll assess and then let me know how we should handle that. Now, if a student or staff member does become COVID positive, we aren't allowed to actually share their name with the school community because of privacy, but you would be informed that there was a person that you or your student could have come into contact with that tested positive for COVID, so we'd notify all school families of that. Recess, there's some people are wondering, are the students going to have recess? Absolutely. These kids still need to be getting outside and running around. And we will, have recess in place. If the health department does require some spacing, we'll come up with some fun ways or fun games to still keep kids apart but keep them active and running that energy off outside. Desks are going to be spaced as much as possible, and we will follow any mandates that the health department puts in place. So we'll have desks spaced out as much as we need for that classroom. If the health department does limit the number of students in a classroom, we're looking into alternatives to how do we have students maybe in some other spaces throughout our school, and how do we make that work so that we can still have students here at school 5 days a week in school still learning for those purposes. So with that being said, we need to make sure if you have not registered your students yet, we are getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of people showing interest that normally would maybe go to Poudre School District are now looking at St. Joe's as an option. So I would encourage you, please, please, please get your students enrolled and get the paperwork turned in so that they can be put in that class. There is a wait list on a couple of our classes right now. If we get to a point on a wait list where it's a long enough wait list, we could possibly split those classes into two. For those of you that are concerned about, maybe you're saying, hey, Mr. Blanco, I really don't feel comfortable sending my kid back come August. The Archdiocese right now is looking at creating an online option for any families in any of the Catholic schools. That way that you're able to still be a part of our community, but you would be getting your child would be getting their education from teachers specifically through the Archdiocese of Denver as a temporary option until you would want your students to return back to St. Joseph for in-school learning. So moving forward, all the Catholic schools will be working with Archdiocese of Denver and local health departments in their recommendations or mandates for what they want to see in our school moving forward. So if you have any other questions, I'm sure I didn't answer every single question that you had. And again, this is the little bit of information that I have, and I wanted to provide it for you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do my best to get back to you in a timely manner with hopefully an answer or some guidance on where we may be going. Please be on the lookout. I'll be sending some more updates throughout the summer as I'm getting more information and as we're moving forward. But I am excited, looking forward to August to see all the kids and all of you back here at St. Joe's. And I just hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed summer. God bless. Take care.